Happy Monday, everyone. You know, everyone kind of got what they wanted today, quite honestly. We got a plunge. Market tried to rally into the open on some positive headlines, and later and then it started rolling over, and then we got the negative headlines about the talks not going well and the U.S. sending ships back through a continued blockade. And so that I used that as an exit for the puts. I didn't want to be greedy, and I wanted to make back that Friday pain, which we basically did today, which is very nice. It was a good day of profits. I also took two short positions, but I didn't want to get greedy with them. ASTS and SNDK. Um, these are two different like technical setups. Honestly, SNDK is the classic look up and fail. It tried to look up. It tried to go for the breakout and then ended up failing the entire move, going from green to red. That's usually a good indication that you're going to get another leg lower. So I went for a quick scalp there. It ended up setting an evening star and then failing it anyway. So this one actually might make a bigger move to the downside. A lot of relative weakness on a day where the market actually showed quite a bit of strength. Actually, it's pretty rare that the market gets a breakdown like this and then recovers, especially when it's already running so hot. Not allowing any breakdowns to the downside here. I would still really prefer, before I start slamming some larger positions, some sort of rug of it, or just a nice double bottom, or probably the lowest probability outcome is that you just consolidate for for the rest of the week at this range. That could also be a case where we would have a reset in some of these momentum indicators, and we would still come and test the bullish EMA. And I'd feel like, okay, the rubber band isn't so stretched. I just want it to relax, so that we can make the next leg higher. Yeah, but I like the way a lot of stuff closed today. Him's just a monster, big move, I'm long on that one. I like the consolidation at the highs. Honestly, I would prefer this thing to do more of a back test, so that I can actually buy back some more. Especially since Hims usually loves to do these morning pops and then kind of retrace to the support. We didn't even get that today. The price action today is extreme bullishness. GME did a nice reclaim of its larger bullish structure here. Just super clean price action, quite honestly. So this has been major resistance. We got the breakout, and then we got a back test. Back test ended up going all the way to the bullish EMA. This is actually a point where I could have tried to add, but it's a meme. I don't really think it's like the next big thing, so I'm not really looking to add to it. I'm just looking to kind of ride the thesis. But it looks good. I mean, it's really clean price action, quite honestly. I love it when things are picture perfect like that. For ASTS, I just saw that, even though a 2.4 RVOL is a solid number, there is just not new participants coming into this name. And there seem to be a lot of bag holders looking to get out. So we did try a short here with a tight stop. If we had broken out over this bearish resistance, I would have gotten out of this one. That's this yellow shaded region here. We did get the move, and I just didn't get greedy. When we came back and we tested the bull, and then it kind of hovered in this EMA convergence before it was like slowly drifted higher. That could have also, when it broke that double top, been an entry for some longs. But I just wanted to see what tomorrow brought us, because a lot of this is still pretty choppy. Still have some coin longs. I like the way Bitcoin's behaving. It was a bit of a laggard over the weekend, but had a really nice recovery today. So I like the way a lot of these things are shaping up. A nice consolidation in Irene. This is a name that I'm watching as well, and it looks like there's quite a bit of price action in the after hours, probably due to earnings going on right now, which I wouldn't mind just taking a peek on that while I'm doing this video and seeing anything stands out to me. I'm going to our weekly report here. Who did we have? Interesting. This must be headlines. We didn't have any major earnings. But something's pumping while something else is donking on Apple. Oh. Apple CEO Tim Cook stepping down, which means that I'm pretty sure the rumor was that their lead and he probably hasn't gone by the way. Usually these companies spend like a year training the new CEO, so it's likely that the head of the innovation or technology production, the lead designer for new products, well, I think it was who the rumor was to take over, but Apple's so far getting a negative reaction to that. That's actually going to be really interesting to see how the market processes that information, because Apple was actually a name I was thinking about getting long today, because is this like similar to GME? Wouldn't be surprised if this kind of comes back, tests this bullish EMA, and then continues its breakout over this resistance line. So keep an eye on it, because this could turn into quite the play. We could go right back to the highs. So watch Apple, man. Yeah, that's really all I got. It wasn't really like a heavy hitting day, but we hit some plays. We made back all that Friday pain. So it was a really good start to the week, especially for, a slower Monday. Some great returns. So let's keep it rolling. I will say futures was really clean, honestly, today as well. I really enjoyed trading futures today. I felt like the market was, honestly, just most names in the SPY were really obeying my EMA strategies really well. I like that clean price action. The very, very mechanical price action is beautiful. Even if all you wanted to do, if you went long at this Morningstar formation, my word, and you had some diamond hands, you could have held that for the entire day, which is pretty unusual for a day where you kind of early on set this bearish bias. And typically, I'm repeating myself a little bit, but typically you'd see that back test. So I'm not really looking to chase stuff for the downside from here. I guess actually what I didn't talk about was cars. I'm checking myself here. Yeah, car is the only bearish position I have on here. Now, I closed most of them. But we are, it's really testing it here. But we are seeing what would be a classic blow off top. So, stock price is setting new highs. RSI isn't setting new highs. Classic top signal that we've traded, 100 times before, 200 times before, right? So let's see if this pans out. This is a GME. This is what this is. It's a new GME. It's a new meme name. There is no fundamental thesis for why this is rallying, although it looks like it. This is simply shorts getting squeezed. And I'm actually shocked there hasn't been any major blowouts or anything. Not a ton of headlines on this, despite this move being equivalent to what GME did. As you guys know, I don't typically like playing stuff like this to the upside. But I do like shorting it when it goes all the way back down. I've tried shares once, stopped with a minor loss, and we're in the option puts, which are down 16% here. They honestly, after, we bought this last week and this thing drifted another 40 points higher. So for newer members or newer traders, you might be kind of scratching your head on how are we down so little when it's so high up. Well, this is what happens when you get crazy parabolic moves on this that the market doesn't really believe, is your implied volatility spikes out of control. So our implied volatility on those contracts is 250%. So there's going to be a lot of processing in these premiums where this is going to relax. These premiums are going to get rugged, and then once it drops maybe another 200 points, that's when we'll actually start making some profits again. So you just kind of got to ride out the noise. Maybe get lucky. If the drop is aggressive enough, we'll just straight up make money off the rip. But you gotta make enough on your deltas to compensate for the losses you're gonna have on your Vega and IV. So it's gonna be very interesting how this continues to pan out. And I believe Abe's been selling butterflies on this one. Or has he been buying put butterflies? He's got a sizable position. Anyways, I don't want to ramble on too long. That's about what I'm seeing today. Tomorrow's going to be pretty interesting. Apple going to be a top watch. Him's looking good. There was a relax. I should probably mention it because we talked about it in the Discord over the weekend. There was really great news from the psychedelic companies, but they took some relaxation today. That's fine, honestly, because if we look at the daily chart, I mean, this was quite the rally. So, like, this back test is just back to the bullish EMA. It could back test all the way to 19. It'd be really healthy, for this to just take a break. This doesn't look like a top to me. It looks like maybe we're finishing a third wave and we have one more wave higher. That's coming for us as well. Let's take a look at ATAI. I really wanted to see this one play better defense today, but honestly, this still isn't even that bad. Come to 450, please. And I would maybe try some buying and look for the longer idea. I think this sector is headed for a much larger bull market. It feels to me like how nuclear felt in 2022. And that bull market's even not even really taking a pause like I expected now, and it's 4 years later. So I'd like to ride that the same way I rode that previous secular bull market, which I only sold late last year, beginning of this year. Either way, God bless y'all. We'll see you tomorrow. Let's keep making some money.